Hey there folks, I'm Alphaexgames, and Christmas came really quickly this year. So much so to the point where, in between doing school stuff and some other things in my personal life, I didn't have enough time to film a Professor Alpha Christmas special this year. I tried like hell to do so, but it just didn't work out this time. As a matter of fact, here's a camera test from November 21st.
Well, that sucks.
So instead of doing an episode, I thought it'd be cool to give you guys a breakdown / commentary from the most recent one, which is the Naruto collectible card game episode. I think I can confidently say that this episode is my favorite one that I've made so far. I tried out a lot of new ideas and techniques to really make this episode stand out over the other ones. For starters, this is the first episode that actually has a plot structure. There's a definitive beginning, middle, and end to it. And I think by doing that, it really gave the episode more consistent pacing. And because of that, instead of it feeling like another YouTube video, it feels like an episode in an established series, which is something I've been trying to achieve ever since I made the Yu-Gi-Oh! Games episode. So, how did the premise for this episode even come up? Well, when I was younger, I would buy these Shonen Jump magazines from my local grocery store, and in almost every issue there was an advertisement for the Naruto collectible card game, and I always thought it looked pretty cool, but I never really learned how to play it. So somewhere around the time when I was brainstorming ideas for a new episode, Naruto's, I guess you can say, canon birthday was coming up soon, which was October 10th. So I was like, what if I talk about the card game? It would fit because it'll be for Naruto's birthday, and I can make it sort of a pseudo-Halloween special. After that, I wasted no time. I got to researching, then to scripting, then to filming some B-roll footage. I guess the biggest question that I had for myself at the time was, how do I talk about a card game, but not make it seem like a college lecture? And my answer to that, as you can see in the episode, was to include it into a overarching plot, with Professor Alpha being kidnapped the entire time, and a Sasuke card pretty much helping me escape from my own mental servitude. Explaining that out loud makes it seem really fucking bizarre. As a current college film major, the main two things that I was trying to focus on the most in the episode were proper scene composition and lighting. For the scene composition, I tried to make sure that majority of the shots adhered to the rule of thirds, which is the idea that you never want your subject in the dead center of the screen. You either want them on frame left or frame right for a dynamic shot. As for the lighting aspect, I wanted to try to achieve the look I wanted without the use of color correction. For the most part, this worked. For certain scenes, I had to, but I'm proud to say that for the scene at the very end, I didn't use any color correction. It was all just me using a light in my very dark garage with a color gel over it, and I think it turned out pretty good. I used a lot of green screen in this episode, a lot more than in any other video I've made, I think, especially for the Sasuke card alone. For all of those effects, I used a green sheet of construction paper that I put inside of my cabinet and a piece of string. I taped the piece of string to the bottom of one of the racks and had Sasuke basically hanging over the green backdrop. And in post, I chroma keyed out all the green and masked the string so you guys couldn't see it. I was super happy with how this turned out because it combined a practical effect with a digital one, and it looked really good in my opinion. High Top Films would be proud. For all the shots with me teleporting, I had to film those scenes twice, so once with me on camera and then the second time with only the background. In my editing software, I made a mask over myself, and then to combine both clips, I used a fade to white transition, and that's what gave off that effect. Lastly, let's talk about the final scene in the episode where Professor Alpha wakes up in present day. This entire sequence was a bitch and a half to do, for a lot of fucking reasons. Firstly, I had to handcuff myself and place a trash bag over my head in a very dark room. And then I had to literally tear myself out of that same trash bag, all in 2 takes because I only had 2 trash bags. Now in the first take, I tore through it and it was all fine, but when I went to go check my footage, turns out I wasn't in frame properly. Now, on my Canon T7, I don't have an LCD screen that I can just pop out and look at to make sure that I'm in frame, so that entire first take had to be scrapped. I had one last trash bag and one last take, and that's what you guys saw in the episode. You know, in hindsight, it's really crazy, because I nearly suffocated myself for 30 seconds of screen time. I guess you can say that shows my dedication to the craft, or either I'm just really fucking insane. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown / commentary for the Naruto collectible card games episode. If you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, then let me know in the comments. And with that being said, I'm Alphaexgames from Alphaexgames, and happy holidays guys. Peace.
I'm done. Yeah.
I'm done guys. The episode is done being filmed. for the most part, all the green screen stuff is done. As you can see, I have my lights right there and my tripod, my camera's up already, but yeah, we done.